Hello everybody. Today we're going to be doing a Photoshop tutorial on just how to do, a quick edit in Photoshop, just a couple simple things. So first, you'll go and find the picture you want to edit. We'll go ahead and click on it and drag it into Photoshop. Now once it's in, what we're going to want to do is go ahead over here to the right side and just adjust these here just slightly as needed, just to make the picture look a little bit better before we actually import it into Photoshop. So I'm going to just adjust these slightly. I like to bring the clarity up about 13 and vibrance up just a few, but I don't touch saturation because we'll do something with that a little bit later on how to help the color. So once we do that, go ahead and click Open Image, and that'll put it into Photoshop. If you click Done, it will take it back into the original format, not into Photoshop. So make sure you click where it says Open Image. So the first thing you want to do when you get into Photoshop before you do anything else is click Control J, and that'll add a new layer right here. What that's going to be able to do is help us undo things or delete this layer if we mess up really badly, and also be able to see before and after. So first thing I do is go ahead over to layer 1 and right click where it says convert to smart object. We're going to go ahead and click that, and what that's going to do is put this layer, just this one right here, into a smart object, and I'll show you exactly what that does in a little bit. So we'll go up here to filter and scroll down where it says camera raw filter. Go ahead and click on that for me. Now first thing what we're going to do is go ahead up here to the graduated filter and go ahead and click on that. And we're going to go ahead and drag this down in from the top left. And as you can see, my settings are here from before. So if you just click a minus on one and then double click, what that's going to do is reset everything. And go ahead and click on here and drag a little bit. That'll reset it back to default. So from here, we're going to dehaze a little bit so we can get some more of those clouds. It's about 30 in clarity. We'll bring down the exposures to help, darken the top a little bit, and blacks, bring those down. Shadows, those can come down as well. And sometimes even after, you can still move this around just to kind of see exactly where you want it to be. I'm going to bring it down a little bit farther than normal. And the highlights, we can bring those down. So it's affecting the car a little bit, and we don't want that. So we're going to go over here to brush and click mask, and that'll show you everything it's affecting. So we'll click the minus, and we'll bring those size down to about 4. And go ahead and just erase where it's touching the car. And that should do it. And we'll undo the mask. And I'll go ahead and click OK. That'll convert this. And now as you can see, if we click Control Z, it'll undo it and redo it. We've just darkened the sky so far. Now on the right side where it says Smart Filters and Camera Raw Filter, this is why we converted it to a smart object right here. If we did not convert to a smart object and we clicked OK, it would just put it back into the layer as we saw originally. Now from here, what we can do, if we mess up or something, we can right click on these little bars and click Edit Smart Filter. And that'll put us right back into where we were. And we can go back into the gradient filter and edit as we need. So from here, we're going to go in and do a little bit of the editing on the ground. So we'll go back into Filter and Camera Raw Filter. And we're going to use this paintbrush here, the adjustment brush. And once again, click minus to reset everything. And go ahead and take exposures and blacks, both of them, drag them all the way down to -4 and -100. So what this is going to do is make anything you select just completely black. And this is going to make it so that way you can see what you're selecting. That way we can tell what we have colored in. So as I said, we're going to be editing just the ground. So we'll color in just the ground. And if you mess up and get a little bit up here, that's okay. We'll go over to erase and then click mask. And we'll be able to see where we missed or where we got out and go back and erase that. Now we'll undo the mask and go back to add. We'll add back in the ground here. It's okay. We can go back and forth as many times as you need to get rid of anything you missed. So from here, we're going to double click blacks right here at the little arrow, double click it, and that'll reset it back to 0. So you can see there's a couple spots here and here that we missed. So we'll keep where it is and just color back in over those few spots that we missed or didn't get completely. Now we'll double click exposure, and now it's reset back to normal. So we have that whole area filled in, and now as we want, we can just adjust that part. So what I'm going to do is bring down exposures and bring down blacks, bring up clarity and dehaze a little bit, bring down the saturation because it looked a little yellow to me, and now go with contrast. And all these can be adjusted as you need. Don't take the numbers I'm using because it's going to be very different depending on each picture. Okay, that looks good. So we'll go ahead and click OK, and that'll put it back into this picture. So we're going to go over here to where this little band-aid is with the dotted lines, and we'll click on that. And you can see this little arrow with a slash saying, no, you can't do this. So go ahead and click. It'll say this smart object must be all this nonsense. Just click OK. And what that's going to do is down here on the bottom right, it's going to take all these layers and put them into one. So now we can click here and see our before and after of the picture so far. So if there's a couple things you want to get rid of, like for example, if we zoom in and look down here, just this little patch right here I don't really like. So with this little band-aid, what we can do is right click and bring the size down to as we need, and keep the hardness somewhere in the 30s. I usually do about 36, somewhere around there. And just go ahead and click and drag over the spot you want to disappear, and just like that, it's gone. And that's the basic of editing in Photoshop. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.